All right, and away we go. How's everybody's July 5th doing? Hope everybody had a safe and good New Year's. New Year's. 4th of July. Can't be a new year already, Jesus. Hey, just a, I got a little question, a poll for everybody. If you wouldn't mind just putting in the comment section for me. Uh, the other day, a couple of days ago, I heard a president say that inflation's down, prices are down. He said, hell, even where he was at, gas is at what, $1.95, he said. Well, I'm in Florida. I think a couple of weeks ago we seen it get below $3 for about 2 days. Now it's back up to between 3 and 3.10. Just wondering where it is where you're at, what the price of gas is. Just curious. All right. Today is National Work Without Your Hands Day. And you know who come up with that one? SpongeBob. Good old SpongeBob. But on the up and up, today is National Apple Turnover Day, National Graham Cracker Day, and National Mechanical Pencil Day, and Bikini Day, which the bikini was introduced way back in 1946 on this day. And it was named after the designer, named it after the Bikini Atoll where they tested the atom bomb. Something you might not know. Ben's just a little word for thought here. Ben Franklin once said, wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy. That's why we have wine. All right, some fun facts for the day. Way back in 1643, the U.S. recorded its first tornado in Essex County, Massachusetts by Governor John Winthrop. They don't get many tornadoes up in Massachusetts, so that's kind of odd. At least I don't hear about them. In the year 1801, the term the United States of America was first used in a letter written by Thomas Jefferson, which then went on to become the official name of our nation. 1847, the first U.S. postage stamp was issued. It was a 5-cent stamp featuring an image of Ben Franklin. And in 1865, the first ever edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, a novel by English author Lewis Carroll, was published. Who knew they had acid way back then? Or was he doing shrooms? Because it was an oddball book. Still is. 1865, the U.S. Secret Service was formed. Initially created with two main goals. One, to protect our U.S. leaders, and the other, to combat the growing trend of counterfeiting U.S. currency. Way back then, they were already starting to counterfeit it. The first edition of Reader's Digest was published in the United States in 1922. 1930, the National Basketball Association was founded to grow the game of basketball in the U.S. So it wasn't originally founded to be a professional league, but the NBA has become one of the most successful sports leagues worldwide. In 1935, the Hoover Dam was completed on the Colorado River between Arizona and Nevada. Still going today, giving electricity for millions and millions of people. 1937, Minnesota-based Hormel Foods introduces a canned luncheon meat called Spam. Britain's National Health Service was founded back in 1948 with the goal of providing free health care to all its citizens, regardless of their ability to pay. I don't know, are they still doing that? I know we've only talked about it, about doing it in the United States for since 1949, I'm sure. But here's an oldie but a goodie. 1954, 3 years before I was born, Elvis Presley recorded his debut single, "That's All Right." Now, that's all right, Mama, that's all right. But it wasn't released until July 19th. It was originally performed by blues musician Arthur Crudup. And what made Elvis' version different was he played it almost twice the speed. You remember it had kind of pretty quick beat to it. It was considered by some to be one of the first rock and roll records. Back in 1975, Arthur Ashe defeated Jimmy Connors of the Wimbledon, become the first black man to win the Wimbledon. 1989, Jerry Seinfeld made his debut on NBC. Lasted for 8 years. Seems like it lasted longer than that. You can still find it on some stations any time of the day. 1994, Amazon was incorporated. Bezos set that up in Washington State under the name of Cadabra Incorporated. Took it partly from the name of Abracadabra and named it just Cadabra. I don't know why I changed it to Amazon. 2007, the official release date of the Apple iPhone in the US. This thus kickstarting the smartphone craze around the world. So just think of you had stock in those two companies right there that began in the middle of that began on July 5th. What, 13 years apart? Unbelievable. You just bought 10 shares of each one when it first started out. Ah, the official 2007 was the official release date of that Apple phone. 2011, the NASA Space Shuttle program came to the end with the launch of the Atlantis. Um, I'm down here in the Space Coast of Florida, and at the time the shuttle was doing all their launches, um, I was a manager of a restaurant, and we look forward to the shuttle launches very much. Brought a lot of people to the area, and believe it or not, we loved it when they were canceled because that meant those people were going to stay another day or two, and it was good times for everybody. Uh, but probably built the area up too much. Right now, its area is growing so much that the traffic is absolutely horrible. But then again, where isn't where you go these days? I'm going to finish this fine day up on a little story about a friend of mine. They had a neighbor who asked her to watch their dog while they were going on vacation. Well, my friend, she's an avid dog lover and agreed to take care of the dog. Uh, while there was only one issue though. The neighbor's dog was a male Springer Spaniel, and she had a female Springer Spaniel who was in heat. Although she does have a big house, she figured, well, I can keep them separated. Keep one in the basement, one upstairs. It'll be okay. If she was drifting off to sleep that night, She heard an awful howling and moaning sounds, rushed downstairs and found the dogs locked together. In obvious pain and unable to disengage, as so frequently happens when they mate. She was unable to separate them and perplexed as to what to do next. I'll tell you what my grandmother used to do. She'd take a bucket of cold water and throw it on them and cuss at them in Polish, and off they'd run. Although it was late, 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 she called the vet, who answered in a very grumpy voice, which I can imagine. Having explained the problem to him, the vet said, "Let me tell you, hang up the telephone, place it alongside the dogs. I will then call you back, and the noise of the ringing phone will make the male lose his erection, and he will withdraw." She says, "Do you think that'll work?" He says, "Well, it just worked on me." Toot. All right, till tomorrow, y'all have a wonderful day and peace out.